I wanted to talk about a website called TrackMy Solutions, which I was requested to review. And first of all, I don't have any financial association with TrackMy Solutions, but I felt that the product that they were providing was an excellent product as far as giving information and helping patients to maintain some type of link with the implants. But it was really important to have an option available to patients that is currently not available. What I wanted to stress, first of all, is that despite the fact that FDA has approved a particular product, the FDA is unable to provide direct information to patients related to a product or an implant that's placed in that particular patient. So if you're under the impression that the FDA is going to notify you directly when there's an implant recall, that's not going to happen. If you believe that that's also going to happen from your doctor, that's not going to happen in many cases, in the majority of cases, or whether or not the surgical center or hospital is going to notify you, that's also not going to necessarily happen. And the reason for that is that there's no centralized center where you can get information as to your implants, implant recall, problems with your implants. It just doesn't exist. And TrackMy Solutions is trying to make a change with that, trying to provide a service. And the great thing about the service is that it doesn't cost the patient anything. They're going to be focusing in on the doctors and also the surgical centers, the hospitals that can afford to maintain this type of data bank or service, and then be able to provide those services to the patients. If you've got the eSure, if you had your tubes tied, if you have an IUD in place, if you got a hip replacement, if you got a pacemaker, of course, I just talked about the silicone implants. If you got meshes, hernia meshes, vaginal meshes, these are foreign bodies. These are implants. These need to be tracked. Your doctors and your hospitals are not tracking them and are not obligated to track them. And after 7 years, your medical records can be destroyed. So what is the solution? My recommendation is for you to go online and go and check this out at trackmysolutions.us. It is important, however, that you have your tracking identification. If you don't have it, like I said, get your medical records and keep them forever. If your doctor didn't tell you about those potential risks, I sincerely doubt that they're going to tell you or call you and tell you about an implant complication or an implant recall. This, unfortunately, is left up to you, the patient, for right now, because it's not a requirement by law. TrackMy Solutions is an option available to you. And I strongly recommend that you encourage this to all of your friends, family members, to also be using this service for anything that they have which is medically associated with the service that they can provide. Now, here's where it's very important. The only way that this is going to become something that is a standard of care is for a patient to insist that this become a standard of care. And therefore, I recommend that you insist on your doctors that are putting implants in to get this type of service, that the hospitals that you go to, where all of those awards, when they're talking about, we've got 4 stars, we've got 5 stars, we're the best in the area. First question when you walk in or when you call them up, I go, do you have TrackMy Solutions? Or because I'm not going to go into your hospital unless I know that you guys are taking care of what I need to be taken care of, especially if you've given me a medication or you put an implant in me. I want to know that I have an independent group that's going to be following me and going to be taking care of my needs and telling me what's going on with my devices, because FDA has failed you in many cases. Your doctors have failed you. The hospitals are not required, they're not the ones that are calling you up to tell you about an implant recall. And this service is free. This service does not cost you anything. And the more people that sign up, the better chance that it becomes a standard of care, the more refined it becomes. And for all of those people that are going to be watching in Europe and other parts of the world, this type of service is being developed so that it can become international. Let's go ahead and see what we can do now to make it a part of standard of care. And again, the only way that it can become standard of care is for you and every single one of your family members to sign up for this free service. And every time you go to your doctor, to ask your doctor, and it doesn't have to be you, it can be your mother, it can be your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, when they go to their doctors, to ask them, do you have TrackMy Solutions as a part of standard of care? And if not, find another doctor, or find someone that that feels that that this is as important, and I think that you feel that how important it is. Start asking your doctors and your hospitals, do you have this type of service? Things you can change things. You can make the difference, especially if you have felt like no one's listening. Well, someone is listening. That's why this service was created. So take advantage of the free service. Hope this helps. Thank you so much for listening. Talk to you soon.